Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Our guest today on the show is Greg Carlson, representing the Fargo Film Festival. Greg, thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
As I understand, of course, you're a past chair of the festival, so you've been there, but we'll find out more about that in a little while. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, I'm a native of Fargo-Moorhead, grown up here and spent virtually all my life in this community, and have been involved with the festival since the beginning. It's in its 16th year now. I teach film studies at Concordia College in Moorhead. I'm the director of film studies in the Communication Studies and Theater Art program there.
Okay. What made you get involved with it? It's probably pretty
well,
self-explaining.
Of course, I love
yeah.
movies. I've been a lifelong attendee of the Fargo Theater, which is one of the crown jewels of the community's arts environment and scene. And I saw movies there from the time I was old enough to walk. My dad took me to Star Wars in 1977 at the theater, and I would go to silent movie night and watch The Phantom of the Opera and Douglas Fairbanks movies and Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin, etc. So I've spent countless hours in the theater. I used to work at the theater, and I've been on the board of directors of the theater. So it's just a great place.
Okay, sounds like a passion. You said number 16. But the dates in March seem to be a little bit later. Why the date change?
They are. We shifted the dates a little bit to experiment with bringing in guests and travel arrangements, and we thought it might be easier. March is always unpredictable, to say the least, in Fargo-Moorhead. But even the average temperatures are a little bit warmer a few weeks later, where we've been the first week of March for the previous 15 years. So we'll see how it goes. It's kind of exciting for us. We're holding our breath a little bit.
So with that said, how does it look so far for this year?
Well, I think the festival looks great. We topped the number of total entries, and we topped the number of total scheduled and programmed films for the festival. Usually we show about 100 movies in 5 days. And this year we have more than 115 movies that we'll show in a 5-day span.
Okay. We talk about this, of course we usually have somebody on every year to talk about it, but the volunteers, how important are they for the festival?
They're the lifeblood of the festival, absolutely essential. I mean, we have the great leadership of Emily Beck, executive director of the Fargo Theater, and under Emily, just about everyone else does it because they love it. They're volunteers. So a core of what we call the executive committee, people who've been involved with the festival for many years, all the way to each year picking up several new faces that come to us because they love movies and they want to find a way they've been to the festival and fell in love with it. So we have on each committee, each of the 7 juried committees, there may be anywhere from 7, sometimes up to even a dozen jurors who are watching these movies and making judgments about what to program in the festival.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want to call, you mentioned Emily, of course, leading the charge, but who are some of the key volunteers and executive committee members?
Mm-hmm. Well, Matt O'Lean has been there since the beginning, and he's a past co-chair, a longtime co-chair of the festival, and has sharp, incisive eye for the kind of content that we program in the festival. Each year, the quality of movies has continued to go up and up, and Matt has just recently said that you could look at the narrative feature films, and they're good enough to just be programmed as a regular theatrical run at the theater, and that's exciting for us.
Well, now, as you mentioned for our viewers watching the show, jurors, and what does that mean?
Well, the submissions come in from all over the world, and we're open for business most months of the year, so we don't take a huge break after the end of the festival before we start looking at films that could be submitted. And they come in on 2 platforms, Without a Box and Film Freeway, which are digital online submission platforms. In the old days, everything came in. I mean, in the first years, Matt would remember this, we received VHS cassette tapes, and then it was DVD. And then we even had mini DV tapes coming in for a while. And so it's much smoother and more efficient to be able to just simply log in to your computer anywhere you have internet access and watch these submissions. So the jurors get together to vote on all the movies they've looked at. And for some, this is a real monumental task. They might watch actually hundreds of hours of content to be able to make decisions on what to play.
Well, what categories are involved in the festival?
Well, there are 7 juried categories, including narrative feature and short and documentary feature and short. We also have a student category, there's experimental, and there's animation as a category. I think I got them all.
Okay, well, I'm not sure on the count. What about special awards as well?
We've had special awards since the beginning of the festival. My mentor, Ted Larson, who founded the film studies program at Minnesota State University Moorhead, he died during the planning phase of the very first festival. And so Margie Bailey, who is the longtime executive director of the theater and one of the people who founded the festival, she was instrumental in designing an award named for Ted Larson. And we consider it the most important, kind of the highest achievement award. Sort of, it's similar to a Lifetime Achievement Award. The people who receive the Ted Larson Award have contributed in some way, either to film education or to the film industry production. And so I love that award because we have winners who represent the industry, big names. Janet Leigh has accepted the award. Leonard Maltin accepted the award. And we have local people who've made huge contributions, either to film education or production. Recently, we've had one of Matt O'Lean's mentors, Tony McRae, who taught film studies at Concordia for years, has received it. Posthumously, Ted Larson's longtime business partner and friend, Rusty Castleton, received the award. So that's my favorite one.
What can you tell us about some of the winning films?
Sure. This year, some of the winning films are, I've seen them all, and it's a stunning slate. I think if you were coming to see any one of those 7 movies, you would have a terrific time. Now, granted, they range in length from under 2 minutes to full feature length, an hour and 45 minutes. And so we can start with the narrative feature category, since that tends to be a marquee category in the festival. And we're showing a film written and directed by a guy named Frank Hall Green called Wildlike. It's already been in more than 50 film festivals, has won many awards from those festivals, and stars Bruce Greenwood as a man who kind of befriends reluctantly a young 14-year-old runaway girl in Denali National Park. The cinematography is stunning, the storytelling is compelling. I just absolutely love this movie, and I think anyone in Fargo-Moorhead who comes to check out the festival for the first time, they would do well to choose this movie. Other ones in the winning category, in the animation, which is the category I chaired this year, there's a Swiss-French co-production called Of Shadows and Wings, which is beautiful 2D hand-drawn animation that in part kind of retells the story of Plato's allegory of the cave. In Student, there's another animated film called Olilo, which is kind of a subjective, also 2D, journey of a young girl who suffers some kind of anxieties. And it's very, very striking to look at. The documentary short winner is called The Champion, and it follows a cab driver who came to America from Iraq. And you get to meet this man and his family members, and in about less than 15 minutes, you feel like you've gotten to know this person. It's an absolutely lovely, lovely movie. The documentary feature winner is a movie that has strong ties to North Dakota. It's called Welcome to Leith. Many people have already heard of it. It's the story of the white supremacist Craig Cobb, who attempted to purchase properties in Leith, North Dakota, and bring other like-minded individuals to sort of take over, democratically speaking, this small community. It's absolutely fascinating, and I think, again, a movie that many, many people in the community will love to go and check out.
Okay. Well, I understand maybe there's a motto that you have there. If a theater goer walks in and only sees one, you want it to be a high quality, a good one.
Absolutely.
So how do you convey this to the jurors?
That's tough. That comes from Emily Beck, and I think it's a succinct way of imagining that we've grown up a little bit as a festival. We've gotten better quality movies, and so that's not to say that we don't honor independent cinema. One of the great things about a festival like the Fargo Film Festival is that most of the content programmed, this is your opportunity to see it. This is, especially for short works, of which there are many that are programmed. you might not be able to find these movies on Netflix or iTunes or any other online. They will never get DVD or Blu-ray releases. So it's that's something that's really special to me about the festival.
Well, can you talk about how you try to get the winning filmmakers here and travel accommodations you make for them?
Of course, yeah. The festival's been committed for a number of years to having each of the movies that's represented in the festival, especially the winners, we hope to have them represented by someone involved with the production. The last year's statistic was that 1 in 5 movies we played, so there were more than 20 filmmakers who came to our community from all over, sometimes all over the world. We've had people come from Europe, and we've had people come from South America before to represent their movies, and that always completely thrills us because in most cases this is their first, could be their only visit to Fargo-Moorhead. So we try to show them a good time and a snowstorm if we can.
well, yeah, we want to give them. Yeah. Can you talk about the festival, how it's grown over the years? You said you've grown up some, but
right.
What have been some of the changes maybe, or how has it grown up? And then, and where do you find the films?
Well, I think that in the first years of the festival, we began as a kind of 2-day weekend, sort of, kind of getting our legs under us. And the number of films programmed was, just a couple dozen. I mean, it wasn't a great number. And we didn't know what we were doing, so we weren't sure even who would send us their movies. And like most film festivals of our size, as we've, each year kind of expanded our vision, our scope, and our scale, we've tried to look at films that have that have a life on the film festival circuit. And so the jury chairs become instrumental in doing their research, looking around to see what are some of the films this year. We try to, sometimes we've been able to sort of hook the big fish before it turns into a phenomenon. We had a movie called The Secret of Kells, an animated feature that ended up getting an Oscar nomination after we had selected it for the festival. And that was kind of a light bulb moment for those of us at who were working at the festival, because we started to imagine that could be a regular thing. And sure enough, we've probably had more than a half a dozen Oscar-nominated works selected for the festival even before they get their nominations.
And that's got to be fun.
It's super fun.
Well, technically, you mentioned it's online submission festival. Do you accept any others except online?
We're online exclusive now, and that's actually pretty standard. Most filmmakers, independent filmmakers, and professional filmmakers have a way to share their work over the internet, either with a private password-protected site of their own or through one of these platforms. Yeah. So a lot of them use Vimeo links.
Well, so technology, is this the first year you've done that?
This is the third year, second full year, I think, where we've been exclusively online submissions. So it's a fairly new thing for us.
Yeah. Well, so how important is a film festival like Fargo Film Festival for young filmmakers out there?
I think
for any filmmaker.
Right. Well, sure. If filmmakers who are submitting their work know it's a very competitive world, because most towns, every state has multiple film festivals. So it's hard to try to get to the next level, when and get your work seen. And film festivals are a great way for independent filmmakers to do that. So for young people starting out, we have a robust student category, and we love to see not just local and regional submissions, but we get stuff from New York University and Chapman and UCLA and some of the big production schools where those directors go on to become working filmmakers whose movies we see in the theater.
Okay. Can you talk about some of the pre-party plans already, and maybe some of the lunch things that happen?
Sure. That's one of the most enjoyable dimensions of the festival for a lot of our regular attendees. That each day during the festival we have some kind of a lunch opportunity for members of the community to come and sit down and listen to filmmakers who are representing their work, talking about all kinds of different issues in the world of movie making. This year, I know one of the panels will include representatives from the Minnesota Film and Television Board, who will talk about the possibility of production incentives in this region, and that's exciting to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I want to talk about the Fargo Theater for a moment, if you will. sort of the mission of the theater, a combination of live events and then, of course, foreign and independent films that play at the theater. Can you talk about that some?
Well, under Emily's leadership, the theater has just really blossomed, and we're so, Margie's very proud of her. We're all very proud of the work that she does. I am to say the least, a pretty big fan of the artist Jack White. And when the surprise show happened at the Fargo Theater, I was, one of the earliest in line, so I could get a ticket and enjoy that, that beautiful environment for a live musical event. And so having the theater continue to operate in the way that it's been doing since it first opened 90 years ago, and this will be the 90th birthday of the Fargo Theater, during the film festival. That was another serendipitous thing that Margie, I think, pointed out. Our dates ended up landing on the actual opening, the 90th anniversary of the opening of the theater. So I think if you've never been to the Fargo Theater and you live in Fargo-Moorhead, you should have your head examined. Maybe that's strong.
Well, shame on yourself. Yeah. How important are donations, memberships for the Fargo Theater?
Of course, yeah. It's a nonprofit organization, so it totally depends, like Prairie Public Television, on the support of the people who use that organization. And Emily's been terrific at helping to design and implement campaigns that show content prior to the screenings of movies, so that people who come in to watch a movie realize that they could be a member of the Fargo Theater and support the Fargo Theater. There are all kinds of membership levels, very inexpensive, even for students, all the way up to sustaining memberships where you might give $5 or $10 or more dollars per month.
Yeah. Has ESPN Game Day helped exposure for the Fargo Theater?
I think so. Some people say that the Fargo Theater marquee is the most recognizable object in the state of North Dakota. We don't have a Mount Rushmore, and it's possible that that's true. I don't know what the folks in the other parts of the western part of the state might say about that, but yeah, Game Day has been awesome for the theater.
Sure. Digital conversion campaign that you did, that obviously has had to help with getting films in.
For sure, absolutely. That was an essential, important, necessary change that needed to be made technologically, and it opened up much more opportunity to program independent and international titles at the theater.
Well, I'm sorry we're running out of time, but people want more information. Where can they go?
Well, they can go to the fargotheater.org website. They can go to fargofilmfestival.org website, and certainly they can call the theater as well to get information about tickets for the film festival.
No, okay. Well, we thank you for joining us today. In fact, I think now we're going to take a look at, a series of clips from 7 winning films from the 7 categories representing the 2016 Fargo Film Festival.
When he first got here, he turned around and asked me, did we have any land for sale?
I had no idea what his ultimate plan was.
Well-known white supremacist Craig Cobb plans to turn Leith into a white nationalist community.
Here we can gather together and become a simple majority by legal electoral rights.
We live here, we breathe here, our kids grow up here.
Got you back. All right. No Nazis! No KKK!
That's white Americans hating on us, who are also white Americans.
This is what we sleep with every night.
I'm not going back on the road.
You don't have a choice.
I'm hiking too.
Seriously, there's the road. What are you doing? Listen, you know what? It's rude. It's rude to intentionally follow other hikers. There's a code of privacy. Okay, I'll wait with you. I'll wait with you.
you doing today, my friend?
Thank God, no complaint, my friend.
Okay.
I never complain.
Never complain?
Never.
I need to hear that.
All the time, customer, they ask me, where are you from? I told them, if you know where I am from, I give you a free ride. I'm gonna give you a clue. Like a cash cab, you know?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you my name, my culture, my religion, my language. This is my name, Estefan B. Charlita.
Okay.
That's my name.
Got it.
Our culture, we used to control the world. Our culture now doesn't exist. Religion, we are the first Christian. Language, we speak Aramaic. Now this is for a clue. You guess where I am from, I give you a free ride.
Come on.
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna be a big fair.
How many guesses do I get?
3 strike, you
Well,
are
I
out.
don't know all the old names.
3
of this
strike, you are out.
This
This
is
is my
tough.
cash cab.
Okay, let me see your name again.
Estefan.
Estefan.
The Spanish.
No. Spanish.
That doesn't count as guess.
Macedonian?
You are close, but too far.
The Moors. The Spanish Moors.
Strike 1.
Strike 1?
Yes.
Strike 1?
50-50, or you want to call a friend?
No, I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay, go ahead.
You're killing me. Don't kick me out.
No.
I need a ride. This is a long ride, my
it's
friend.
okay.
Wait, don't think
Get
I-
off my cab, like cash cab. Get off my cab. You give up?
Yes, I give up.
My name is Estefan Badel Shalita. I am from Iraq.
Ich hasse es, Freunden Diagnosen zu sagen.
Müssen Sie wirklich ausziehen?
Ich hab's Ihnen gesagt.
Benjamin!
Du wirst das Richtige machen.
J'existais dans ce magma de vie, ce grand tout dont je faisais partie malgré moi. Mais je n'habitais ni un sol, ni un territoire. J'habitais juste un corps, des actes, une pensée, et puis le cœur de quelqu'un. Toi, tu voulais être d'ici, des leurs, de cette communauté de solitude qu'un noir aveuglant nourrissait. Tu pensais qu'uni un peuple pouvait grandir, mais ce jour, presque sans prévenir, il en fut tout autre.
Well, that's all we have for Prairie Pulse this week, and as always, thanks for watching.